What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. It's Thursday, 12th of September. It was DCB. It was almost a non-event, to be honest. Market didn't react that much to the news. It was as expected. The rate cut from DCB and then the press conference from Christine Lagarde. She seemed a little bit lost, to be honest, during the Q&A. But yeah, nothing new. Still data dependent, still going to continue to follow what's going on in the Eurozone in terms of GDP. There was a little bit of a reduction in terms of the expectation in terms of growth for the coming years, but nothing worrying at this point. So there you go, we had another rate cut in the Eurozone. That was basically it in terms of the news. In terms of we also had unemployment claims still around the 230, so nothing new in there, and PPI also slightly higher than expected, but nothing to worry about in there. And tomorrow it's going to be a quiet day. So yeah, we can just jump into the market straight away, looking at dollar index as always. What we have is the dollar respecting the highs. Like, it actually ended up respecting the high that have been waiting for. Right, so there's been always a question mark if the dollar index would respect or not, or eventually break this high, and at this point it kept respecting it. Right, it even fake out that level finally, and it reacted exactly from that super level that we had in alignment with these left shoulders. Right, so that's a little bit of what we had in there. There you go, PA, and then move to the downside this afternoon, starting straight away in the morning, but then in the afternoon. Morning and then afternoon it moved to downside, and now it's back at this level in here. So that's going to be interesting. If price continues to respect the highs and just continues to move lower, I'm expecting then for the dollar index to challenge a little bit more of these lows in there. All right, so eventually could take this double bottom created for the last couple of weeks and eventually move a little bit more to downside, a little bit closer to 100.1 in there at least. So yes, not breaking the highs, it makes it a bit more bearish to me. We could break the highs and then retrace, and that could open up a little bit more space to go higher. If we don't really have that price action, then a bit more worried in terms of the potential longs. But again, let's see how price may react around this level. We have a little bit of that zone in there, and then looking a little bit more to the downside. In terms of where we are in here, price may have actually left another level just at the highs, just before it dropped. So that's actually something interesting. It fake out slightly this level in here, so that could have been enough, to be honest. So we actually fake out that level, spiked in here with the news, and then just price continued to move forward. But as you can see, it didn't really create any momentum, and that's exactly the same thing on euro dollar. Like, it was a slow move to downside. There was no momentum in today's session. It was even with spikes up and down, but eventually at this point, yes, breaking new lows, but without momentum. So we are still waiting for that momentum to occur or to happen in here on the dollar index. So let's see if that's going to happen or not in here. That can happen maybe perhaps when you do break this low, maybe to move to downside. So that could be a possibility, but at this point there's no momentum. There's not exactly anything standing out on the dollar index so far, and kind of similar on the euro, which start moving to the upside as well in there. And now I think it just broke actually a high, something that we're going to look at in a bit. The indices just continue the move to the upside. Like that, yesterday was a big turnaround in here, so that was something that we started to pay attention to. This looked like a bullish move as soon as it respected perfectly this level, and it broke all the way through, and now it will be more of a bullish momentum. All right, so where price was reacting to was not that relevant, to be honest. So we just broke. We tried to go lower first, but now the continuation to the upside and eventually to challenge a bit more of those highs. I think that will be the next destination in here, at least on S&P and then eventually Nasdaq as well. So that's going to be something to pay attention. Yes, it's interesting that we managed to slightly break as a level in here. So that's something that you can track. Basically, price just respected the previous level of supply that was still fresh somewhere in here. That is basically where price ended up reacting from, and now continuation to the upside. So we'll see. Now we have this structure, price can retrace and can continue, and we'll see. Question mark now is, are you going to have a compression approach now towards the highs, or are you going to be just momentum? If it is just momentum, then we started to challenge the highs. If price continues, if price now starts moving upwards but goes a little bit more in the compression way, then eventually could start turning again eventually to the downside. So that's something to pay attention. S&P in particular got already really close to those highs, so not really sure if there's anything above this highs in here that can still hold price down. So if you do go there, maybe you can actually have new all-time highs, but before that we still have all this structure that we can pay attention to. So that's going to be an interesting one to see eventually when you get there on the S&P. And again, what type of approach you're going to have until the end of this week. So in this case, in today's end of closing, and then tomorrow a session. So that's going to be an interesting one before tomorrow. And again, everyone is now anticipating or waiting for next Wednesday, right? When you do have the FOMC meeting and what everyone is predicting to be the first rate cut, and that is pointed 25 basis points rate cut. So that's going to be the anticipation is going to be, where are you going to be by Wednesday? Are you going to challenge the highs by then, or going to start ranging a little bit, showing a little bit of indecision, not really taking any or not seeing any big momentum until then, and then starting to reposition the type of positions that the market or the big guys are going to take. Even though since everyone is already predicting the 25 basis points, maybe that's already being priced in at this point as well. Nasdaq continuation as well. Again, that initial move down, then continuation. So nothing grievous, not really surprise in here. It went all the way to that extreme, even actually missed that level, reacted from this demand zone basically where it was. So that's nice to see. Maybe this is the beginning of a compression. We call it kind of a zone 3 type of a move, as price now navigates to the upside after taking this structure. So we may continue to go higher. Again, Nasdaq still has a few other levels in here that I'm curious to see price reacting from. For example, above this highs into that level can have a little bit of a reaction. Maybe can even have a little bit of reaction from here as well. But at this point, I'll be targeting a little bit more this level, and then you may have even above these highs as well into that structure. So Nasdaq doesn't really need to break new highs at this point. It's still far away from it, and there are a few levels that I could see price respecting before even aiming to go to a new all-time highs. S&P, it's slightly different. It's getting closer to all-time highs, and there's maybe just one, maximum two levels in there that can still hold price before creating new all-time highs. So that's a little bit of the difference that we have at this point. We have Dow as well, just moving to the upside. So again, on the Dow, we mentioned that you are curious a little bit to see how price may react from here, and you had that reaction already from that left shoulder. Maybe slightly higher, you can look for some reaction as well. So that's something to pay attention in here on the Dow. Let it continue to go higher. We have now this compression that price basically needs to feel. All right, so it needs to go all the way until above that high and start to see how price may react in that level. We had that initial break to downside that we considered that it was, but there was more room to go down. We had this extra leg down, so this extra low, and from here price has been starting to move to the upside. And again, the question mark is this low in here another engulf down, or is it okay? Where is it reacting from around this structure in there? So that's the question mark in here on the Dow at this point, because again, the indices, they look like they are moving to the upside, and at this point S&P may look like it's getting closer to potential new all-time high. Nasdaq still far away, and the Dow may still have a few zones in here as well that could hold price down, and you have this clear break of low opposite to the other ones. Like the other ones kept respecting this low, but Dow actually broke this low. It's important to pay attention to these different clues that we have across the different indices. Some of them may look like they are super correlated, but there are clues that we can collect and identify that can help us to see maybe which one we should be expecting or looking for another leg down. For example, in this particular case, we could have maybe looked more for the short on the Dow that even managed to break that low. So it had a bigger move to the downside comparing with the S&P and Nasdaq, where they kept respecting this low, for example. And that was something that we noticed also because of that break in there. So let's see, price can continue, now can respect its structure in here and continue to go slightly higher. I have also this previous support resistance in there that can keep pushing price to the upside. So we'll see how price may react across that level in there. All right. DAX respected the supply that you're looking for. So above these highs, you mentioned that there was a high probability that price could have a reaction from this level. It reacted, it moved to downside a little bit during DCB press conference, and then it turned. As soon as DCB press conference basically finished, it turned to the upside, and now it's back into this level. Again, price feel that compression that we talked about in here, so that's basically target done or accomplished. So we'll see now if price wants to go slightly higher into that level or not. So that was something also that we looked for. Crypto, Bitcoin continued to go slightly higher. This is the next level that you're looking for. All right, getting a little bit more closer now to 60k. Before that, we still have this level in there. So it's ranging a little bit now. We'll see. It still respected this demand zone. So there's not exactly an engulf down at this point. So it respected that level, and we'll see how price may eventually react from there. Ethereum kept respecting the high, again another reaction from there and moved to downside, and it is within this range, right? So we're still respecting this last high that basically made all this move to downside. So it's still within this range. It still hasn't really opened any more space to go further up, so that's something to bear in mind. Maybe price actually wants to continue just move down from here, and maybe Ethereum is just waiting for a Bitcoin to get a little bit more in alignment with something higher before continuing to move to downside. We'll see. All right, we'll see. And the Solana as well, kind of ranging a little bit in here after respecting that demand zone. It can continue to go slightly higher. And there you go. We finally have also this data is back. So yesterday there was an issue with this data feed, and now we have this yen index that is back. Like we're using, oh, yesterday we used another one. So use this one where we had price already breaking above that high, something that I was looking for and to respect that structure. But the data that we have been following all these months is this particular one in here, like the index. And in this case, as you can see, price hasn't really reacted from that level. So that's still a zone in there that I'm looking for. Price at this point is just reacting from that. It was a fresh supply that was still in there, closer to this structure, so that's a good reaction. But we do definitely need to break below these lows in terms of potentially look for a bigger move down. So we'll see. Again, the expectation at this point is to continue to see some kind of compression in here until we eventually start aiming towards or close to that high, and eventually take that high and perhaps react from here. Like in terms of move to the downside, I could see maybe a reaction from here, so price could go even slightly lower, or even to fake out this above bottom and react from this level as well. So those are two levels in here on the euro index, sorry, on the yen index, that I could see it for a long. For a short, again, I will just continue to wait for price to go slightly higher at this point. Yes, there is this data missing in here. It is what it is. I need to deal with, like, there's nothing I can do in there. And euro index as well is back. Like, and this was actually one of the pairs of today, and as soon as it was back, the data, I realized it, that we did manage to fake out below that low, and that was a really good level to start looking for longs in here. All right, we start breaking as well, compressed. This was a really good level to start looking for longs on the euro pairs. Again, it was ECB press conference, and usually it's always a good day to analyze the euro index and to look for opportunities on the euro pairs. And that was the bias. Okay, longs on the euro. Basically, that was what we were looking for. When we realized that, again, not always price needs to go and kind of react from the demand zone. Maybe it actually did so, but the key point in here is actually to fake out that low. And it did. It took that low and it started turning. And now we still have a little bit of this structure. Of course, we have this high. Let's see if it breaks and starts breaking to the upside. So that's basically a little bit of the next move that you are looking for, with the potential even reaction back into this level, and then another leg up, right? So let's see how price may react around this level, and if you do, then after breaking potentially this high, if you do even manage to go above that high as well, to open door even more to the upside. Again, a lot of this move in here has been compressed in here, so we'll see what happens after we break that at that high. Now, good reaction from this level in here as well, so straight away reacting from that left shoulder. I think that was during the press conference as well. So yes, this was definitely one of the pairs that we were looking for, or the assets, to give us a bias of what to expect on the euro index today. So good reaction to the upside. All right. Yeah, let's take a look into the individual currency pairs. What's up, guys? Welcome. Yeah, so let's take a look into the individual currency pairs. All right, so there you go. We start having finally some momentum here on the euro, right? So after holding that level, so looking at euro dollar, this was something that we start noticing. We start noticing that break to the upside in there. So that was a clue that price would be getting closer to move higher, and price reacted from that level, right? So there was a little bit of a zone slightly underneath it. Actually, I was looking to see price would fake out this was one more time and do something like that, but price just kept respecting this structure this morning. So that was a interesting move. But yeah, price ended up respecting from that level. That was something that we also looking for, and now moving to the upside. But one of the clues, actually, it was this breaking here last I think it was Wednesday. It was yesterday. Yes, we had that break to the upside, then another leg down, fake out the lows, and this starts opening the door. So these are actually some clues that you can pay attention to in here. And again, we have been looking all this time for price eventually to get closer to that week Monday open, right? That's basically where price opened for the week, and that's a little bit of the level that we have been looking for. And now basically euro dollar is just slowly moving to that level. Again, as you can see in here, this is not that often that you're going to see such a slow move in a compression way during an ECB press conference. Usually you are expecting to see more momentum on the euro pairs, and especially euro dollar, but that was not the case. There were a few spikes in here, but then price just continued to slowly move to the upside. Like, it's an interesting move also on the dollar, the way price has been moving such in kind of slow motion in here. So it was a more of a patience move, and again, we are looking for price to get closer to that level. That's what we are looking for in here. Yep. And then again, as I mentioned, there's even the possibility to go closer to that level as well, in case price does want to go there. So that's something interesting. Question mark is there anything in here that price could react from, or if price breaks above this level, then you're looking for price to start challenging and targeting those highs? That's a little bit of the question mark. We can investigate a little bit within this level if there's anything or not, maybe above this high, something in there, or everything in here has been taken. That's kind of question mark in here. It depends. We have a few left shoulders in there that maybe could go slightly higher and have a reaction from here, or otherwise price may just go there. But first, I'm curious to see how price may react from here. But yeah, nice move on the euro dollar. So let it go a little bit more to the upside in here. Like, that's basically the opening for the week. If you check it, the weekly candle, that's exactly what we have. Like, it's basically correcting this move to downside the last few days. Pound dollar, same thing. Like, so basically the low was created yesterday. I was looking for price to get slightly closer to this level. It kept respecting this level. It just went to the upside, and now again we are looking eventually also similar to the euro dollar for price to go closer to that zone. Again, Monday open. This value in here, this already break to the upside, so this was something similar to the euro dollar. We are looking already price eventually to break above these highs. This may be just a super level in there, which may actually already been taken on the way down. So I'm not really expecting price to hold in here, but more of price moving to the upside and eventually getting closer to that level. So that's again what I'm looking for in here on the pound dollar, and then eventually question mark is if there's anything in here that you can look for the pound to respect or not. Again, it was an important level in here on the left side where price created this low. So we'll see tomorrow morning where we're going to be at in here. Euro pound also moves slightly more to the upside, again still respecting that level than just range, so nothing really interesting to look at. Yeah, nothing really interesting to look at euro pound. There you go. Aussie as well starting to move, so we notice this compression start slightly breaking some highs in there, and then it reacted a little bit from this previous structure. It looks like it's a bit in the middle, but it's okay. Basically this is a little bit of the previous structure that let this move to the upside. So that's basically where the Aussie is reacting. Again, the approach has been quite nice. Price is literally challenging the highs, slightly breaking in there, correct liquidity, and just turn again. That was yesterday. we got close. We have this spike in here, but yeah, then just continuation. And there you go, a continuation to the upside, and eventually can start targeting somewhere around this level, and we'll see what is going to happen eventually in there. That will be a bit more of my level to look for another short, unless there's something in here that price could respect. Maybe there is something in there. Maybe there's a decision point somewhere in there. Aussie could, yeah, maybe somewhere in here. It's still like this level, to be honest, as well. Yeah, so 2 levels in there to potentially look for a reaction. That price maybe continue to go higher, and yeah, get closer to this level in here on the Aussie dollar, and then you have the other moves on the other Aussie pairs. You can look first at New Zealand, which is also moving to the upside now. So again, similar pattern in here, reaction from that level. Again, similarly breaking the highs, compress, take the lows, and then start moving to the upside, right? So again, another typical reversal pattern in here, and potentially we can look for to target slightly higher in there, if not even higher. So again, good correction now. Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see how price may react from there. Yep. Euro Aussie correcting a bit more to the downside again with this move to the upside on the Aussie dollar. Now you have Euro Aussie moving lower, so we kept respecting these lows, those highs. So again, tendency maybe a bit more to the downside. You have Pound Aussie as well, quite similar as well, moving to the downside in there. So that's something to pay attention as well. Yep, can start targeting perhaps these lows in here. And then you have the Aussie yen, which also corrected. Right, so starting to correcting here on the Aussie yen, can good reaction from that demand zone in there. Potentially we can even go lower, but we are once again at this level of resistance in here. So we'll see. Curious to see how price may react from this level once it gets there. Yeah, again, personally, it looks like we are still slightly in the middle. I could see price going slightly lower, but you could have a reaction or a retracement before we do that. So that's just something to look at. If you continue to have a bit more strength on the Aussie yen, so on the Aussie dollar, then you may have that move slightly higher. Also paying attention to the yen pairs and the yen index, which again maybe can continue to go slightly higher, which maybe it's again pushed down. Dollar yen also moving slightly more to the downside, so curious to see how price may be reacting from here. Bigger picture, we already mentioned that we are looking perhaps for price to get closer to this level in here, so basically 138 or close to 139. So there's maybe a little bit more room to downside. You can even fake out this low at this point, kind of respect a little bit, but I would like to see moving a bit more further down. This high may have reacted from that level, so it's not bad. So yeah, may have a little bit more of that continuation. Again, price can even go there one more time if it wants to in here, but for now it's starting to move downside from here. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in here. But bigger picture, yeah, bigger picture, I'm looking for a further move to downside, and that's something to pay attention to perhaps next week in here. Euro yen moved slightly to the upside as well. And again, this week has been quite of a ranging week. Not really exactly any momentum. Maybe aside from the indices and now a little bit on oil as well. And gold that finally broke new all-time highs again. But the FX has been more of a kind of a slow week, ranging week with more compression than momentum. Good move again on the yen pairs initially just to respect the lows, but now again, even the way it's moving is not exactly with a lot of strength, which means that maybe perhaps we can retest one more time these lows, or the move to downside hasn't finished just yet, and it may continue to move to downside. So that's something to bear in mind in here on the euro yen as well. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to track. Perhaps if you do fake out that level, if you start breaking a little bit in size, maybe we can target a little bit more of that level. If it goes down first, perhaps you can have a move like that to look for. Yeah, so again, I think it's still early to properly decide if this is a full turn in here or not. A little bit more momentum on the the pound yen as well, kind of reacted from that level. This is something that we talked about 2 days ago, and yesterday we had the reaction. We start breaking some highs, so there's maybe a little bit more of a room to the upside as well in here on the pound yen to pay attention to. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind in here. So we'll see if that happens or not. Yeah, it's another kind of ranging there. Like if you look at the daily candle today, it's quite small in here. Then the CAD pairs. Alright, so we had that correction as well on the dollar CAD, so we're looking for some reaction from around this level. It's happening. Again, this was basically a previous level as well, but it's quite important on the way up. Kind of we got rejected on the way down, so usually there's a reaction from here. There's maybe still missing a proper break below this structure to actually start opening the door to go further down in here. So I'm going to still be curious to see what kind of PA we're going to have around this level. See if there's a new short opportunity or not from here. Again, in my opinion, in the bigger picture, we may have broken into this compression, so we may still go further down in the next maybe couple of weeks or so, or next few days. So that's something to bear in mind. Again, we reacted perfectly from that level, but that for me is kind of in the middle of this, so I could still see a move to the downside. There's maybe some reaction here that price needs to kind of overcome in order to continue to move down. So we'll see what's going to happen in there on the dollar CAD. Yeah, I'm open to the possibility to see how price may create PA around this level, potentially look for another move down. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. If you start breaking slightly more to the upside, then you are looking for price to go to the next level in there. Dollar franc Swiss did manage to break new highs in here, so that's interesting. We may be getting close to a potential turn in here to the upside. Let's see what kind of PA we're going to have around this level, right? So price is respecting these lows at this point. This is, in my opinion, kind of the first break to the upside. If price had broken already this level, I would have been bullish earlier. Now that we finally break that level, I'm going to be looking to see if we do get some kind of PA around this level in here to potentially look for that move to the upside. So that will be definitely something to bear in mind in here on dollar franc Swiss. We can eventually start targeting these levels in here. Yeah, question mark, should be expecting this low to be broken. Again, looking at the previous high in there, price did respect that level. It went to the extreme but respected it, then created this pattern with something that we predicted when it happened a few months ago, and then you had this move to the downside, right? So there's not exactly a new high being created in here, so this didn't happen, which means that maybe could eventually go all the way and create new lows, just as a continuation setup in here, right? It would make sense, all right? But maybe we're going to have actually this double top, this double bottom, and price may react or go to the upside first before eventually challenging these lows one more time. So that's just something to bear in mind in here. On the dollar franc Swiss, I think there could be a potential interesting opportunity to look for longs if price does get closer to these lows in here, or if by any chance price just do something like that and now create some PA in here and goes. Maybe after we break again above these highs, maybe there's a continuation setup to look for in there. Yeah, good move in here. Yeah, good move. Yeah, and then gold. There you go. Finally broke the highs. Again, similar to that episode that I released in terms of how to trade all-time highs. There you go. We broke the highs. We came all the way to respect the demand zone that managed to break out these highs. And then where did we react from? We reacted from basically the previous high in there. Like that's basically where we end up reacting in here. So we went up, reacted, and then we moved to the upside in there. And now we have this continuation, and let price continue to go slightly higher in here. Again, keep respecting. So let it create some PA, and eventually we're going to have another leg down in here. But there you go, creating more momentum now on gold. It's been an incredible year for anyone that is trading gold and looking for longs. Yep, perfect. And we'll see what's going to happen next. At this point, it's still quite bullish in here. Next trade opportunity, of course, it can be one more time to test back into this previous support resistance, these previous all-time highs, and then eventually can continue to go higher. Starting to break below these levels, then perhaps you can start aiming towards that level in there, and then may have some reaction here as well. But yeah, this is now basically the key low in here to pay attention to as well in this bigger picture on gold. Yep. Yeah, silver also just moving to the upside, so getting closer to this extreme that we also were looking for. And of course, price can definitely continue to go even higher from here. Yeah, because it basically broke those highs. Now this is kind of a retest, and maybe perhaps we can continue to go slightly higher and eventually, yeah, getting closer to that level. So that's something to bear in mind in here. Yeah, so very trend. Yeah, so that's nice. Let's see how price may react around these highs in here, with the potential to go into the next level as well. This all looks fresh to me. Beautiful spot. Beautiful spot in there. Yeah, it's beautiful. Whenever price gets there, it's a beautiful one to look for. Right. And oil. Yeah, oil recovered all the way, and now it's reacting from that super level that we were looking for as well, right? So yesterday kind of bounced from these lows, broke the trend line, and then basically filled all the space in there. It fought a little bit this supply level that was still fresh, then eventually broke to the upside, and now it's reacting from this one that was left behind. Again, this size never reacted from it, so it was left behind, and we are having that reaction in there. Again, we did fake out all these lows, basically collected that liquidity, respected again then the double bottom, so still respecting within this level, and now we are in here. And let's see if we're going to have some PA at this level to push the downside, or if you start breaking above this level, then you start looking for price perhaps to go yeah, maybe perhaps closer to the 72 mark in here. So that's just something to bear in mind in here on oil. All right, so we definitely need to respect this level, continue to go upwards. If you start breaking it, it starts opening the door to go perhaps further down and maybe getting closer to this level once again. Yeah, basically price respected that structure in here. Yep, so that's nice. Similar in here, it's a little bit more room to the upside for price to go there. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see how price may react from this level. So it's going to be interesting in here. So yeah, there you go. We have a continuation here to the upside. So maybe perhaps tomorrow we can have bearish dollar and a long on the euro, on the pound, and so on. So depending on price react from here, you may have a little bit of a continuation to the upside, or just a reaction from here and move to the downside. Like, that's going to be a key level in here to pay attention tomorrow. I'm going to be curious to see price by any chance respects this level or not tomorrow morning. That's going to be my next key zone in here. Dollar CAD as well, I'm curious to see how price may react from those highs. Dollar franc Swiss, if it gets closer to these lows, I think you may have a long opportunity at least to pay attention to in there, so that's something to bear in mind. The indices, I want them to see continue to go slightly higher, and we'll see if we start having a compression type of approach now towards the highs, or if it's going to be still with a lot of momentum, which if it is momentum, then it's going to be a little bit more cautious in terms of looking for sales. Oil as well, just see how price may react from that supply level in here. If it respects this level, perhaps we can have a short opportunity. If it starts breaking, then I'm looking for price to just continue to move higher. If I'm looking for a continuation, maybe somewhere in here could look for it, or price may go slightly closer to this level in here before looking for that. So somewhere in there could be opportunity in here. And that's basically it in terms of the end pairs. Yeah, let's see if we get any kind of momentum, and how I would like to see price getting closer to the walls one more time to see if there is a PI to look for longs, or if price just continues to move down in here. So that's something to bear in mind. Again, the cut pairs. Yeah, the cut pairs gained some momentum. Euro CAD, pound CAD, and so on. It's gaining momentum to the upside. Again, yeah, it respected basically this level in here, kept respecting this zone. Yeah, nothing standing out in here, to be honest. Just respected that level, pick out all these flows in here, and it went. Yeah, actually this was a good PI. I didn't see it. I didn't see this one. Yeah, this was a mistrade. They have a great break in here. Basically collect liquidity from here. Yeah, this was a good setup, to be honest. Yeah, this was a miss. Oh, yeah, this was a miss trade. Yeah, start breaking some highs in here. Continue, goes with those lows. Go higher than it broke. Yeah, this is a beautiful entry in there. Yeah, it's a pity. Yeah, that's a pity. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a mistrade. Yeah, pound CAD also kind of turning, respecting those lows, and just moving to the upside as well. So I've been trading within this range. Again, personally, I think you're going to take these highs before anything else. So yeah, I'm just staying patient in here with pound CAD. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I'll see you on Sunday. Have a great end of the week, guys. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.